in nature today. I like indoors, but I like nature better.
You got to play in the elements anyway, right?
Yeah, and it gives, for Lincoln, he loves it, and so do the kids. Messy days, it's good to go inside. You still can get some work done, but being outside is even better.
When you got back from the off day and started up again this week, what was the temperature of your team? What were they like?
They're ready to go. We had a really snappy practice on Monday. Began to try to install some things for the game coming up, but just really having a really good day on Monday. The game's Saturday, days away, so just have a great Monday is how I approach it. And I thought the kids came out, got a couple of days away from us, and we from them, and us from them, so they came out with a pep in their step.
Ruffin, Lincoln talked yesterday about a big key being players buying in to what you guys are trying to coach them. How do you get a sense of that? Is that just on the practice field? Is that something that only comes to game day when you know guys are really getting it?
Game day is a part of the test, but, for me, it's a lot of tests before then. And even not just because of what's happened, but since I've been able and blessed to be at Oklahoma, we've been testing one another and know how I feel about them. I know how they feel about me, and in that case, and us as a staff. And the biggest thing, like Boss was talking about, was just making sure everybody understands it's we, us, and ours. And those three words, there's no I. So it's we, us, and ours. We've been talking about that for a while, and the kids are grasping that. And you see it coming. Tough loss, but a lot to build from and, a lot to grow from.
Ruffin, when we look at this defense, only 5 turnovers through 6 games. What has to change to kind of force the issue for you guys?
Well, turnovers are something we emphasize, and, just being in the right place at the right time a lot of times, and getting the ball out of there. But we do talk about turnovers a lot, and, we'll start getting our share hopefully right now and getting on a little run to get a ball extra possessions is how we look at it. And turnovers happen in different ways with getting the ball, of course, but on some fourth down stops possibly, and even making turn the ball over and punt to the CD and those things. But, yeah, we work on it.
Ruffin, you alluded to this a little bit on turnovers, but how lucky or how random are they? I mean, and how much can you actually emphasize them when they sometimes happen so randomly?
Well, we do drills, like example, today is a tackling day. Tomorrow will be a turnover period drill for the defense. And then all during practice, even today, we talk about turnovers and getting the ball to our offense is how we look at it. And we preach, we, us, and ours, and team first, last, and always. But we tell them one thing to be greedy about is getting turnovers, because it gets the ball to our offense. And when you get the ball to those guys, we have a pretty good chance of success. So that's how we approach that. So today was a good day, and tomorrow we emphasize it even more, but we do every day.
Are tactics like overly pursuing, routes or the football on a pass or knocking the ball out, are those at odds with making tackles? Is that something, are those conflicting things?
Say it again for me.
Like when you're trying to knock a ball loose and you're trying to emphasize turnovers, does that hurt maybe what you're preaching to tackle more fundamentally?
Well, you want to make sure you tackle first, and then what happens after that is good. But, we haven't taught turnover first. Just make sure we be great fundamentally and tackle first, and then we'll go from there. Now, the ball's in the air on a pass, like you mentioned, that ball's up for the offensive player and defensive player. So let's go, and that ball is just as ours as well as them. So we talk to them like that.
Ruffin, how much can you really change schematically in the middle of a season, or can you?
Well, not much. And I would want to, but so I haven't had to do that much. But the kids are willing and ready to do what have you, and we talk this way. The call, it's not the call, they're the call. The players are the call, and they know that, and that's how we talk to them, and we've talked to them. So whatever we call, if it's just a base call, they're the call. And that's putting ownership back on them, and I think the kids appreciate that.
Ruffin, going all the way back to the spring, there's been a lot of expectations surrounding Buki. I'm just curious kind of your thoughts on how he's played the first half of the season and where do you think he's headed, the rest of the season in his freshman year?
I think Buki's for a first-year player, first year at this level of football in the Big 12 and the level we play, has really handled himself well. I think you'll see just constant improvement, You know, a lot of time expectations are put on certain players and people, but Bookie's handling it well, and I think he'll keep handling it the older he gets. He's still a young player. So we have a lot of confidence in Bookie, the team does, and we do the staff.
Ruffin, last week we talked about guys that hadn't got an opportunity to see the field. Where does a guy like Levi Draper stand right now?
He's still in the mix. I know Coach Kish does a lot with him, and we like the way Levi, his mentality's been great, and you know we'll keep preparing him, getting ready to go. I think being injured last year put him behind a little bit, but we like Levi. I think Levi can be a good player in time.
How much is there a chance we see him before the end of the season?
Never can tell. That's a great question, but you know we'll look forward to it when he does get there to that point.
Coach, what's the status of Jalen Redmond?
He's still continuing to work out, and man, you know, hopefully at some point in time we can have him a part of it. But great kid, great young man, and you know his health is always first in my mind.
Galen Kelly's been a guy that obviously has played a lot of football for you. You know, he's not going to redshirt now. So with that being the thought, you know, how do you start incorporating him into the defense even more? Is he still just going to be the backup Will, or will you do some other things?
Probably do some other things, but you know, Caleb's a great young man, and I'm glad he's here. I love coaching him, being around him. I know where he's from. I coached at Fresno State, so I know exactly where he lived and where his high school is and everything. And we've talked about a lot of restaurants, so I think a lot of Caleb, and I think Caleb is a guy who's a quiet leader, and I'm glad he's on our football team, and I'm fortunate to be around him to be able to coach him.
Ruffin, Kerry asked you about one freshman. Let me ask you about another, about Ronnie Perkins and just how he's developed and your thoughts on him in the second half of the season.
I think Ronnie, you know, and those guys asked about Bookie. Those guys that came in the spring are further ahead than the young men that came in during the summer. It's just a matter they've been through the tempo and the speed of the game. And the speed of the game at the college level is a real difficult adjustment from high school to college. And Perks come in, and during the spring it was very fast for him, and he was even more prepared this fall. So that's why you see the playing time. And I'm really proud of Perk. He's got a great mentality. He comes from a great high school program. Coach Tibbs has been great getting him ready to play, and Perk has done a great job of preparing himself. So, again, another guy who I know I keep saying is really proud of Perk and glad he's on the football team and had a chance to just be, I think, a special player if he keeps the focus like he is right now.
What's your thoughts on TCU's offense?
Very explosive. First thing you think of is speed. And, you know, that's the first thing at every position, including quarterback. I know the signal callers, you know, I guess I'm dating my age, but Sonny was at Texas Tech when I was there and does a great job of calling plays, but speed and versatility with the offense, a lot of different things they do, you know, you got to prepare for. And you know that any of those guys can really make plays, so you got to be prepared and be on high alert defensively to be able to make competitive plays, a lot of competitive plays to have a chance to be successful.
Ruffin, Trey Brown had tweeted about the loss of his mother this week. Can you talk about just the coaching staff, kind of the support you try and give players when they go through something like that, and do you think that will he travel with the team?
Oh, yeah. Trey's a warrior, and, you know, I gained my mom. And I told him, you didn't lose your mom, you gained your mom. You just gained an angel. So I get goosebumps. I said, now she's able to watch you at practice. So, you know, I believe that. And so the whole staff and the team welcome Trey back. And he's a great young man. And, you know, he's been dealing with that for a while. And, again, like I told him, you didn't lose her, you gained her. You gained an angel. And I can relate to that with him. And we've had a great talk, over the phone, and had a great talk today when I got a chance to eyeball him.
Ruffin, TCU has not been real productive the last 3 or 4 weeks. Is this a chance for if you guys can do the same, hold them down the way Texas, Iowa State did, is this a chance for you guys to build some confidence? It seems like that would be it seems like this is a defense that could use some confidence.
Well, you know, I hope as a staff we can provide that before they go in the game. And TCU's, again, that's one thing you can't do is overlook what they've done in watching the film personnel they have. They've had tough games like everybody faces. I think that's one thing overlooked by this conference, having coached in it for a while, but I have a lot of respect for TCU and what they can do. And what I focus on is making sure our guys are prepared each day. You know, the game is Saturday. Let's have a great Tuesday was our message today. Tomorrow to be the game is Saturday. Let's have a great Wednesday. So that's how I approach it.
Ruffin, I know it's nothing new for you guys, but with as fast as this offense plays and with as much as your defense is on the field, how difficult is that? And also, is there anything the offense can kind of do to help the defense out at times?
Well, we do it every day. We see each other, and then of course, Coach Riley meets with us defensively and has since I've been here. I knew he did before of what we wanted to see. So whether it was up tempo, what have you, and we've seen that every day, even if we didn't ask for it. So that helps quite a bit. As far as us defensively, he's getting lined up quick, making sure we get a look to the sideline to get the proper call, and let's go hunt, let's go fight.
Ruffin, do you know? We know a lot about what Bob Diaco's done on the field. Do you know anything interesting about what he does off the field that you could share?
He has a series of eating places he goes to, like that are programmed, and he likes every day. I couldn't tell you which one it was, but he.
Like restaurants?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You on the schedule, you mean? Like
Yeah.
Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays?
Yes. And he has, and as slim as he is, and he works out hard, but he has a plan of each night where he's going to eat and what he's going to eat and how much he's going to eat. He's slim and well built, but haven't been head coaches together. We've had a lot of head coaches meetings together, and now have a chance to work with him in his capacity has been great.
So when you were maybe in Connecticut, he'd tell you where you could stop, and if you had time, maybe you could stop where you could stop and eat. Basically.
Oh yeah, he knows a lot of good places, and the guys told me that he's really keen at certain foods on certain nights from certain places, and I think they get their profit goes up when he attends the restaurant. Let's just say.
Ruffin, Gary Patterson, kind of throughout his career, has always had really good defenses at TCU. In this conference, how do you think he's been able to do that?
He does a great job. He did a good job when he was at Navy. Gary and I have known each other for a long time. East Carolina, the Texas Tech connection, but even before then, and he's always had a great job. I think Gary was the first one early in his career recruiting, took a lot of running backs, moving them around to different places, and he evolved that way. So he does a great job. His kids are well disciplined. He's had a scheme that he believes in, and he's mastered it, and has now variations off of it. But he's just done it over and over again, and he does a great job getting his kids in the right spot, right place at the right time.
You talked about the recruiting aspect of it when you're answering Joe's question there, but how much can you take away from what Gary does and the way he built defenses as you look to fix this in the second half of the season?
Ask me again.
Just is there anything you can take away from what Gary's been able to do as far as playing good defense in this league over the second half of the season?
Well, I believe in these things, and like I told you last week, is I believe in make sure I'm myself. So that answer is going to be, I believe in making sure we give a great effort. That's first of all. I believe in we play with great fundamentals. That's next of all. Being very disciplined, doing their job, making plays, and knowing the game. So my philosophy is that I've known Gary for a long time, but Gary does it Gary's way. And that's why I appreciate what he does. So I found it very in my best interest to make sure I do it the way that I can fix, and that's the way I believe in it. So.
After a week and a half of practice, how have those linebackers related to Coach Diaco and his style?
Oh, they have no choice. He's full of energy. We took the leash off, and he does a great job chasing them around and really full of enthusiasm as well as knowledge. So he's doing a great job. Good?
Thank you.
Oh, thank y'all. Thank you very much.